Alright, old gatekeeper here. We have a Boomer 600 Deluxe that is in absolutely superb physical condition. Superb. See, a lot of times people over tighten these screws and they'll tear up the silk screen on the front of them. You can tell this has not been over tightened. They really should have had to use rubber washers, or at least washers, period, so these screws wouldn't, grip down on this silk screen. But on the back, you ain't got to worry about that, of course. So we're going to do a couple of things to this. We're going to do a power wire mod. Yeah, Mr. Invader. Oh, there went that flash. Turned off. Yeah, that's 10 gauge right there. So you looking at a 10 gauge of ground, and these are two 12s on the power. We're going to get that upgraded for you to two 10s. And either two 10s or 1/8 on the ground, we'll see. But basically he was having some unique issues that I honestly have not heard before on my end. On sideband, he is actually swinging backwards. So he said the second he keys up, it's going about 500 watts and swinging back to about 100 on sideband. Usually you see something like that happen on AM. But I quickly checked out a few things just real quick, and this transistor right here is actually leaky and it's showing up as a diode. These three are still good, so I went ahead and called them up and had a little talk with them. And as we see, we have a 1446 driver right there. So I told him, hey man, I got a set of 4 brand new 1446s, so I was like, what do you think about trading these 3 good ones for these? Now, I normally wouldn't do something like that because of the cost difference, these being used, these being new, but it's fine. And him just buy this upright, and he was fine with it. So we're gonna get them put in there and do a couple other mods, and we'll be back. Alright, Mr. Invader 729, I believe it is. Got your board pulled right here, man. I've already done a few repairs. Not repairs, a few modifications is what I meant to say. Sorry about that. I've done a few mods already, man. Went ahead and did my normal mods that I used to do. Look at that right there. Good God almighty. I got some of that dang compound on me. You gotta be careful, right? Got that compound from that 1446 driver up under there. Be alright. Anyway, I know that you had mentioned, so I've already got the power leads, took off the transformers. I've already cleaned the board too a little bit. I hadn't done an extensive cleaning on it yet, but I have done a fairly, I guess I've done a fairly extensive cleaning. I'm going to finish up cleaning it once I get it mounted back in. And I went ahead and took those 560s up. It's hard to see these once everything's down. Right there, got you some 102s, man. That's 1,000 picofarad, 500 volters. Okay, and I went ahead and thickened up this hot bus going up this direction. That's going to be going to the driver section. Went ahead and did my thing on the driver section there. That's just two 500s equaling 1,000. Went ahead and threw a 120 down. I mean, they have absolutely nothing on these driver sections. No kind of capacitance whatsoever. So that little bit will help. But the main thing I wanted to, let's turn this over, show you the back here. I know you had mentioned that somebody done something to help with a short that was on the bottom possibly or somewhere. I've looked everywhere. I don't really see any evidence of anything done to help a short. There was also nothing on the heat sink either. But what I went ahead and done just to be safe for, better be safe than sorry type deal, is I went ahead and insulated the heat sink to just to be safe for the future. Make sure if any kind of solder drips down that it won't short off, because these are really bad about that. So I've got the heat sink. Sorry, my phone's about dead. It's plugged up over here. I've already insulated the heat sink where all the anything on the board could short out if it would. So we're gonna go ahead and get this mounted back in there for you, man. Get the new transistors down and see how it goes. So we'll be back. Alrighty, all done. Went ahead and mic'd in the two trimmers here, because as a lot of you know, I make it a habit not to leave trimmers and amplifiers when they leave my hands. So mic'd in that one right there, the other one right here. Alrighty. Next, we're going to make him some Anderson power pole connectors and put the two new fingers on, because he has these old fingers right here, and just they look kind of nasty. Got solder on the outside of them. I've had quite a few people ask me, what's the best way to put on these Anderson connectors and the as they call them, the fingers here. I've been meaning to do a video just on doing that, but I guess I'll go ahead and just show me putting these on. Basically, what Mr. Invader wants me to do is leave these bare like that. Just tin just the ends of them, so I could hook my alligator clips to them good. But leave this bare and make him another adapter or whatever, and pretty much leave that bare. And what he's going to do is he's going to put a fuse array in between both these wires, he said, which will work a lot better than these right here. What seem like what he's got going on over there. So he's going to put that in between both, as you see right here, and he's going to have some fuses in between. And like I said, it's always best to have a fuse up under the hood. But alright, basically when you're putting these fingers on, I see people make this mistake all the time. They'll literally just take, bare wire. They'll fill the cup up with solder right here, okay, the finger up with solder. They'll take bare wire after it's filled up with solder, stick that bare wire in there, and take the flame away from it. And sometimes that's perfectly fine. That wire is going to get tinned up real well, especially if you got some flux in there. But a lot of times, and I've seen it happen 100 times, man. No, not 100, literally. I've done it myself, and I've seen it happen. I'm tired, man. I'll be honest with you. Whew. I've seen it happen other places where that wire doesn't even get bonded to that solder. It's just sitting in there. I've pulled them straight off wires before. So what you want to do is pre-tin your wire, okay? It's going to be going in there. And as you see, I've got a little bit extra right here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. Ooh. Aliens? What in the world? Listen to some crazy entertainment. Alright. It's a lot better. Let's check this one out. Yeah, take a little bit off that. Alrighty, let's get the torch fired up. I basically like taking a little piece of solder and just sticking it in there, and letting it lay over, and then once it gets hot enough, you'll see that solder fall down in there and melt, and that's how you know it's time to get busy. That it's hot enough. It's just something I like to do. I like to put solder around the rim of it, but basically you gotta be careful with these small 50 amp ones, because dang torch just went out. Probably should have grabbed my other one. I got bigger torches, but these small ones are just fine for these fingers, man. They're perfect. Yeah, I know what happened. That fan right there is blowing. Turn that around real quick. Alright. So basically, instead of filling this up with a lot of solder, the best thing I like to do is take your pre-tinned wire and go ahead and put it in there real slow, and then watch it melt. Watch that solder around that wire begin to melt. Okay, and that flame done went out again. I tell you what, right when I'm trying to make a goddamn video, I got another one around here that works a lot better than this one. Sorry about that. Basically what I was saying was, oh, I tell you what, y'all excuse me. I got a big old torch over here. I'll get on this thing and melt this dang finger. Where's my red one at? I got a red, there it is. Okay, we in business now. That's what I was really looking for. This one right here works great. I'm just gonna hold it on it. I know why that red one ain't working. It's out of fluid. Look at that, almost out of fluid. Anyway, sorry for there we go. Alright, you see now it's melted. Now go ahead and fill the rest up with solder. Fill it up to the very top. I'm sorry that took so long. I'm having some difficulties. Fill it up to the very top, and don't get it, don't get it up so high up to where you start seeing that flux wanting to overfill. So that's up to the top right there. That's. So I'm gonna take that away real quick and straighten this wire up as straight as I can get it right there. See, now it's already cold. Now, if you're doing a lot of these wires, or quite a few of them, a good trick that I've used and I learned from a old buddy of mine years and years ago is to have you a little cup of water or a little spray bottle like this right here or something. You can take that thing, just squirt it on it, and cool that thing down instantly, so you can go ahead and handle it. Alright, I'm not going to sit here and let you watch me do the ground. I just kind of wanted to show that real quick because I've been wanting to do it. I know that's a piece of cake to most of you, but there's a lot of people out there that would like to see how that's done. And I'll be back. Alrighty, I got them all installed or put on, shall I say, and heat shrinked. These power poles are pretty neat. Just put it together like that, and if you look in here, there's a little metal piece. Okay, you see that metal piece right there? The little connector right there? When you look at the finger, you want this side of the finger's got the lip in it, right there. That needs to go on top of the metal piece so that it snaps in. I remember when I first did this, I put a couple in there wrong. I couldn't understand why each of them wouldn't connect together good. There's a snap on that one. There's a snap on that one. Alrighty. Neat thing about these power poles, I mean, you can get 2 more and have a big one with 4 of them. So like I said, he's gonna connect it up just like this right here. But in between these 2 wires, he's gonna have some sort of fuse array. So there you go, bud. Alright, let's get this thing over there and let's get it tested and get the rest of the video done. What you said is you wanted to be able to see at least 500 watts, so let's see if we're able to do that. Alrighty, here we go. I appreciate your patience, Mr. 729er Invader. Mr. Wayne, Operator Wayne. Appreciate your patience, brother. I know you've been waiting a little while on this amp, man. You wanted me to get in here and do my thing with it like I usually do with these Boomer 600 / Palomar 600, 550s, 525, 5, whatever they want to put on the front, they're all the same. And I still tell you, it blows my mind how they call this a high drive. See where it says high drive? Okay. And it's got a driver right here. I'm going to tell you something else a little unique about these amplifiers that some people may or may not know. They pretty much are hybrid biased, meaning the driver section is AB biased. And you see you got 2 different sandbar resistors. This choke right here is coming directly off the output of this diode down here. It's kind of hard to see. And the input transformer is not grounded. Alright, if you go over here, each of these individual chokes right here are carrying the bias voltage to the base of the transistors, okay? The output transformers are grounded with chokes. If you took these chokes off right now, this whole operation of the amplifier would change. It would pull a lot more current because it would be what you call AB biased. But it'd be kind of hard to control it because the proper input padding is not in there. Yeah, sometimes I class C these boxes. Most of the time I just leave them the way they are. So anyway, as you know, we took had a transistor that was bad in here, and we brought it to his attention and gave him the idea of just putting a fresh set of 1446s in here, a matched set of 1446s, and we got a 1446 driver as well that was already in there. And basically he said he just wanted to see 500 watts if he's able to. Well, bud, I don't think you're going to have no problem with that at all. We did the whole full power wire power distribution upgrade, coming in with some good decent 8 gauge. We changed out all the chokes. Let me show those to you now. Here's your parts that came out, okay? Here's the chokes that was feeding the DC current to each 2 transistor section. Okay, I would guess that's about 22 gauge wire, solid wire. Okay, so we replaced that with 14 gauge wire. So that's definitely going to be able to get a little bit more current to it and stay a little bit cooler. The box should stay running a little cooler. As I think I already mentioned, we took the trimmers out, mic'd them in. I don't like leaving them trimmers in at all. Went ahead and threw feedback circuits on every single section. As you see here, the 100 ohms along with the dot ones in this matter. The output transformer, 2 500s equal 1,000, 120 to ground, the collector to ground. They don't have anything on this thing, man. We got some good 16 gauge right here, carrying the current over here. The hot bus, which is right here, leads this way, all the way this way. I went ahead and put a good bit of solder on it just to thicken up, have a little bit better current flow, shall I say. And we also pulled the board out, which you already been able to tell earlier in the video. And made sure that this thing will never dead short against this right here. Alright, let's get started. We got this thing hooked up on the unregulated supply. Since this is a 1 driving 4, we're going to put it on the medium tap, which is going to float at 18.7. It's going to drop to about 14.5. Alright, we're going to be putting 4 watts RMS into this radio, which I will demonstrate now. Almost 1 watt. Oh dear. Oh yeah. Right there at 4 watts, 10 watt slug. The bottom where 100 is 10 watts. Oh dear. The 40 is 4 watts. Let's turn that back. Alrighty. Alright, here's your RMS. Usually if you can see a little 200 or a little bit over 200 RMS out of 4 1446s, you're doing good. 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 That's about 210 or so RMS. 1,000 watts slug. So we're reading the bottom scale. Alright, here's your peak. Ooh, yeah. That's right there. It's 650 watts, my friend. Ooh, yeah, this thing's running well, man. Here's your voltage drop. Ooh, yeah, 14.2. Excuse me, 14.2. Input reflect. Dude, yeah. Dude, yeah. I did not have to do any tuning on the input of this. We got very lucky. A lot of times with these boxes, I have to do quite a bit of tuning to them. We got lucky. No tuning at all, man. That really made me happy. I didn't have to do any tuning, not even on the output. I just mic'd them bad boys in, so nobody had messed with them trimmers, which were good. Let me demonstrate the high-low medium switch here. Put on low. Go back to RMS. So it's about a 50 watt dead key, okay? 1 watt turns into 50 watts. Medium. That's right there, about an 80, 85 watt dead key. High. About 100 watts. I would run it back right here on medium or low. Here's medium. Oh yeah, so you're still swinging about the same. Let's try out low. 50 watt dead key. Oh yeah, that's the winner right there. That's where I would run this box. Oh yeah. Talking, gatekeeper, talking. Let's take a look at the peak right there. Oh, yeah, right there about 500 watts. That's where I would talk with it on low if you had a 1 watt dead key. All right, just for the fun of it, we're gonna go hook up the hot radio. I know you're gonna be running this on about 13.8 volts, Mr. Invader, and it dropped to about 14.2, so that's very close. You're talking about 0.4 volts off, so you can pretty much see you're gonna have no problem getting your 400 watts out of this bad boy, man. So this thing's working very well. I'm real happy with the way it turned out. A little bit of mods inside doing well. Another thing I went ahead and done too, for some reason, I don't know why, every single box has been the same way. Every single one of them. The 100 picofarad caps, 100 picofarad caps here from collector to ground, they always have real long leads, and I don't understand why that is. It's like they don't cut them at all. You always want your leads to be as short as possible, so I always take them out and shorten those leads on them things. Alright, let's hook this hot radio up and see what kind of RMS we can get out of it. Take a look at this right here, Mr. Invader. Alright, we got the hot radio hooked up, so now we've doubled our input drive from 4 watts RMS, which is about 18 to 20 peak, over to 8 watts RMS, which is about anywhere from 36 to 42 watts or so, which is quite hot for this amp, no doubt about it. It really is. But you do have a little bit of extra input padding in here in series, parallel series, that you can, utilize the low and all that. But take a look at this. Take a look at the voltage drop on this. We're still on the medium tap. 13.6. So this is a little bit more closer to the voltage you're going to be running. Now take a look at the wattage this thing produces. RMS. Look at that. 320 watts. Goodness gracious. I don't even know what this thing's going to do when I turn it on the high tap and get a little bit more voltage. Burp time. We're just going to do one quick key. I'm astonished. I am astonished. 1,000 watt slug. Oh my God! I'm sorry, but I have never seen 4 1446s almost doing 400 bird. Damn! Son! Man! I think I might take these 1446s back out of this thing, Invader. Put them on one of my own amps. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just kidding with you, man. That just blows my mind. God almighty. Let's see what the voltage drop is. That is amazing. 15.5, which is hot. It is quite a little bit hot, not too bad. I've seen people run these boxes on voltage that high. God almighty. Let's take a look at the peak just real quick. 750 watts. 700 is about 775. Trying to creep its way up to 800 watts. Now that right there blew my mind. Pretty much say that this bad boy is ranking in. I'm just going to say it like this right here. 380 watts RMS, just to be on the low side. I know it's pretty much doing 390. Now that was amazing. I would probably have to say this is one of my most favorite Palomar 600s I have ever worked on. Because the way these boxes are, they either work good or they don't. I've pretty much had 50-50 when it comes to these boxes. I've had quite a few of them to where I just would rather just bypass the driver circuit, just turn it into a straight 4. But the gain of them brand new 1446s are amazing. That